Good morning, Biddy. Biddy, she ready to go. Like, let's go. She ready to go.
She should have commented first, like you do on mine. He comment first before we even go live. Whatever.
You're making things up.
I'm not. It'd be like 7 o'clock.
Stop lying on my name.
He'd be like first and shit.
Right.
That's old internet shit right there. First.
Right.
That's that old school internet shit. That's that 2007 shit. First. They'd be like, nobody cares.
That's the point.
First. It does figure though that
say anything to me except the time when someone does reply to me saying first. Like, shit.
I reply.
That's not.
I mean, it is just like him to be trolling people's live stream comment sections and shit.
I know you're not fucking talking.
Yeah, that's how I made that point. I had to talk.
Like, what? That's exactly my point. Thank you for making my point for me.
Shit is whack. Oh man. So I think it's supposed to be cold this weekend. And then warm the fuck up Monday or some shit. I think that's what they said.
Right.
Man, it's 45 degrees now. I don't like it, but that ain't
terrible.
Bridget.
Right.
I still don't like that shit.
Who's Keanu Charles?
Keanu Charles. The first name's familiar. I don't connect it with the last name though. Like I know there's a Keanu. Let me check something. MC?
I don't know. I ain't look at the profile yet.
Because the only one that pops up for me is Keanu Charles DMC, digital creator.
Oh, that's possible. This username says Keanu Charles 004.
004. And what platform did he try to add you on?
TikTok.
Oh, I have no idea. That might be organic, bro.
Yeah, okay.
That might be organic. You'll know who he is later when you post an opinion he don't like and he calling you all kinds of black bastards. Yeah, you know who he is. You know who he is then.
All facts.
You all kinds go back. There's all kinds of go back to Africans.
Yikes.
And then you tell him, look, I wouldn't mind. I mean, I was in Kenya.
What's your next instruction?
Right. You're a little late. Little late. He'll show you who he is then. You're gonna be up there talking some Black History Month shit. You're gonna be in your ass.
Luckily, because I've been getting more followers that I have no idea who the fuck they are since I've been back on TikTok. Luckily, nobody has said anything about any of my Black history or Black people content. So,
maybe it's the fact that you haven't drifted into that part of the algorithm yet, where those motherfuckers swim that stream.
All facts.
Because
all facts.
Now on Twitter, that's just the stream.
Here's the thing, I don't know. I feel like I've been largely inoculated on Twitter.
Really?
Like, I largely live inside of Black Twitter. Like, I rarely ever see anything.
Really? Like, listen.
Only thing I ever really see outside of that is the wrestling stuff. Because I follow wrestling stuff.
Right.
So that's the closest I ever see.
That might be what it is.
Velveeta shit I sent you.
Yeah, bruh.
Yeah, that's the person that ever really get to that type of shit.
But sir, really though, maybe that's because that's like, because you know me, I'm looking at politics shit, I'm looking at all that,
Right.
And that's gonna put you all in the lane of that shit. The shit I see be like a motherfucker will post something that's just demonstrably true.
Yeah,
this is just demonstrably true, and you really make whatever side of the political equation you're on look crazy denying this, right? And yet, in the comments, this motherfucker's doing all kind of contortions and just to find a way to have a way to dispute it, and a lot of it don't make sense, and it's not even at the end of the day. I think maybe I might prefer the way they're doing it because their argument is just, what's up, Jonathan? Their argument is just, I don't like y'all. It boils down to that. I think I prefer that than a motherfucker trying to make some hackneyed and then trying to say it's logical reason or they got some, nah. What up, Sky?
What up? Oh man. Let's jump right into it.
Word.
Okay.
You did who, what, and where?
No,
Dion.
Hey, what's up, Dion?
That's gonna have to wait till we finish because I restart Chrome, all this shit going down.
Facts. Facts.
Well, yeah.
Welcome everyone to the Black Culture Geeks podcast. This is my man SBJ.
You
and my sis Chrissy.
Hey.
And I am Tombstone the Dead Man. And we are just a few geeks talking about pop culture from a black perspective. Facts indeed. Now, just a heads up for all of you. You see that title underneath my name? Yeah. But that's it. That's it. You see that? They can have it. All of it. Every bit of it.
Well, I'm not disagreeing. I'm not fighting back on that one. Not even a little bit.
Is it me or does Chrissy camera look way better? Like her picture looks way better.
Well, technically, the camera itself doesn't look better. It just doesn't have that fucking little tint. Because I'm not using the T6. I'm using the natural webcam that's on the laptop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not red and I'm not pale.
Yeah. Because with the T6i, I would have to figure out what settings are necessary. Like legitimately, we gotta like some shit like that. Like legitimately, I never had the time or the day she's on the show to like dig into the settings.
Yo, I wish I could have just woke up an hour ago.
We just don't be getting up.
Yo, we were woke.
We were awake.
Watching YouTube videos and shit. Like,
no, that's facts. I get that. I do get. I understand that.
He's more productive when I'm gone.
I showed her. Yeah, I showed her how Friends was stolen from Living Single.
Oh yeah, big time.
She had really
bigly.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing.
Look, and you shouldn't feel bad for not knowing.
No,
because I am certain that there are a bunch of other programs that we all enjoyed that was stolen from something else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Pretty sure of that.
Like I said, I was telling her I didn't know about it until we talked about it on here.
Yep.
Like that's when I found out like that it was legit. Like as I was getting older, I was like, oh, maybe, yeah, they are really similar. But I was never like, I never knew that it was actually proof.
Right.
Actually was taken from,
yeah. It's a whole lot different when you assuming it kind of seems like, and between that and oh nah, y'all 100% did that, and we can prove it. We got receipts. You know what I'm saying? We got receipts.
Like we just so happen to have a meeting 2 months ahead of you greenlighting the show where you said you would like to have that show on your network. Huh. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Now suddenly there's a green light for a show with the same exact premise as my show.
Bruh.
So
It's kind of, it's not a 1-to-1, but it's very similar to the shit that happened with Bruce Lee and the TV show Kung Fu. That was his shit. That was his shit.
Yeah.
And he just knew he was going to be the one he wrote it, the idea that came up with the synopsis, all of that. And they said basically, nah, fuck you, Bruce. You're a little too Chinese.
Right.
Let's get David Carradine to do the role. You know, there is actually another version of Kung Fu that came out. I don't know if it was this year or last year, because I really just saw it myself. And I watched the first episode called Warrior. And it's a very similar. The only thing that's different is where David Carradine's character was out there in the Western wilderness and shit. This character is like, I think in New York during the early time in New York when it had the gangs and all that other shit. And it just so happened the David Carradine character in lore to Kung Fu, I think his father was white or his mom or something. In this one, it's his grandfather was white, right? So yeah, like it didn't seem bad to me, but time will tell.
Right.
Time will tell. But that first episode didn't seem bad.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's right. All right, let's get into it. So I don't have a traditional topic. It's kind of more a thing that I observed. And it's pretty big. It's not like it ain't some shit that like a couple of people that I happen to follow who got like 5,000 followers experienced. It kind of got it went at least mini viral on the.
I'm part Irish, Scott, by the way. Smidgen.
That's true.
Smidgen.
Goddamn Ireland. So I would argue.
What would you argue?
The internet. It's funny we were just talking about what we were just talking about. It's kind of related, tangentially. I would argue that the internet is much closer to the ideal that many folks had about the Wild West.
Ooh,
like the Wild West actually was.
Oh, this is interesting. Yeah, first of all, for motherfuckers that are delusioned by Hollywood and TV, I can tell you one thing, if nothing else, about the Wild West that is 100% guaranteed to be true. It stank.
Well, facts. Oh no, nigga.
The real Wild West. Listen. Listen.
All facts. So I think there are way more people in this internet era, in context, that who trend chaotic good or anti-hero. Again, in the context of what the internet can be.
Right.
I myself fancy a full measure over a half one.
Same.
The vast majority of the time.
Same.
I'm not saying I necessarily agree with every extreme measure that is taken in order to avenge a wrongdoing.
Not every time. No.
But you won't see me be as harsh on them as most will claim to want.
Listen. To a hammer, everything looks like a nail.
now, obviously, by side, because I'm still human. So, like, if it happens to somebody that I know personally and like, and depending on what the circumstance is, I'm going to feel away because, again, I'm human.
Yeah.
But
don't admit that too loud, though.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, no. In general, I'm not really mad. Like, I'm always so in the instance of someone, I've talked about this on here, losing their job, losing their life, blah blah blah. Those things I have empathy for. No matter the situation, it's just the level of empathy goes down depending on what caused that to happen.
Facts.
it's that simple for me. Oftentimes stories don't have happy endings. So I take solace in the times where the villain gets some type of comeuppance. So there's this librarian. His name is, I think it's pronounced Michael. I'm not sure if that's how it's pronounced. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. I will continue to pronounce it wrong because I don't have the correct pronunciation, and it's not spelled the traditional way. So
He'll be all right.
I
He'll be
mean,
all right.
well, he might not.
Oh.
He's just, in a nutshell, to not go on a down a rabbit hole, he's just like a super positive person who just basically wants to add his entire online persona is him advocating for literacy.
Hold up.
That's
it. Like
he's LeVar Burton,
bro. Yo,
he's reading Rainbow.
Oh, funny thing about that. So something happened. He had put a video on the internet or something, and there were a couple idiots who saw him. He's also a librarian. So a couple idiots saw him and decided to do the whole high school thing because how can I best say this? He is someone whose presentation matches with people that in high school we may have picked on, called weird, blah, blah, that type thing. So people in their big ages decided that they were feeling nostalgia for high school and decided to try to do this bullying.
It's not just that, bro. It's what I've said for the longest time. We are all still those kids in the elementary school playground. We're still those guys. We just got life experience and layers on top. Yeah. We're still that kid, man.
Thanks. Oh, thanks. There was a groundswell of defense for him, which
as it should be.
Which is a part of what I mean by saying that this is more like the ideal Wild West than the Wild West actually was.
Got you.
There was a groundswell. It wasn't just, everybody's out for themselves. Somebody happens to seem a little bit slightly altruistic. No. As time has gone on and we've learned more about the subject, people have been paying more attention to things like mental health and stuff like that. Blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So, but that part of the story ended well. He was amplified. His bullies got bullied effectively into oblivion. And all was well.
A happy ending.
Still not over. So and it's funny that you mentioned LeVar Burton because when this had happened, because he never said anything negative about the people that were attacking him. He again, you don't know people in real life, but this motherfucker's online persona, flawless.
Yeah,
100% flawless.
Yeah.
So people were saying like
lawful good. He's lawful good, is what you're saying.
Yeah, people were saying like they need to bring back Reading Rainbow and have him have LeVar pass the torch to him, and like that type. Like he's that type of. He gives off that type of vibe, and this first part of the story did nothing but amplify him. Well, somebody decided they were going to call him. Somebody else decided they were going to call him. It is the Twitter username is Miss Mojo, Miss_Mojo, and this. Let me read the caption of the post that she is quoting. He says, it's a picture of him and his parents. It says, this is my mom and dad. They raised me as a library kid. My mom homeschooled me, raising me and educating me at the library. My dad's always emphasized the importance of literacy. I've been reading at least 1 hour a day for a very long time. I love the library because of them. In the picture, it is just the three of them sitting down at a table out at some restaurant, smiling. That is the picture. That is the caption. Her quote tweet says, I don't trust him. His presentation is light, but his vibe is dark. I don't be wrong about these things.
I hate when people, even if they do happen to be right occasionally, try to justify or prove, act like them saying I don't be wrong about this is somehow proof of something.
Right.
Bro, stop it. That's just you saying that.
I wouldn't put it on Twitter. Like, you know how you have feelings about people.
It's obnoxious. It's obnoxious.
I be having feelings about people, but I'm not about to go on Twitter and be like, I had this feeling about this person and I don't be wrong.
Right. Like, it's obnoxious. It's obnoxious.
So, because of all the exposure that he got from the first incident, now even more people were coming to his defense.
Of course they were.
So she, at some point, somebody quote tweeted a video that he made. Again, one that was super pop. Like, please don't take this the wrong way when I say this, but he's like almost saccharine. Like, he's this uber positive, like.
Saccharine has been linked to certain.
Oh, shut the hell up! Shut up. So the person that quote tweeted that video said, "I'm gonna tell y'all one motherfucking time: leave Michael alone, because again, he's gained a bunch of support." Miss Mojo quote tweets this quote saying, "I am never the fuck wrong. My final words on this topic is that if you look at the tweet, I acknowledge his likeness and I never accused him of anything or even called him a bad person."
You actually did, though.
Actually did, yes.
You
and
actually
did not acknowledge his likeness. You said he presents.
Yeah. Like none of that, nothing that you said there was positive, or it was literally like you basically said, I think he's scamming.
Right.
And that's what you said. You ain't say nothing nice.
Then under that, she commented, "Y'all was so quick to defend the honor of a man who didn't ask for it and put me in my fat black place, and that's truly dark. That's truly the dark energy I was referencing."
But he didn't ask for you to do what you did.
And also, the dark, you was referring to him as having dark, not the people that are getting in your ass right now.
Right.
Like,
you did that to yourself.
You keep moving the goalposts, Miss Ma'am. What the fuck?
But this whole thing was because you made an assumption.
Yeah.
So you did this to yourself.
I
mean, you're the dark one.
Nigga. Well, okay. So at that point is when those chaotic good and those anti-hero people came out.
I'm sure they did.
They went ham.
I'm sure they did. No, they went salami. They went turkey. They went all kind of deli meat.
So this one guy came to her defense.
Uh-oh.
This is one of the people that attacked her made a quote, and he quote tweeted that. This is the original quote. Someone says, "She can lock down her account and change her bio all she wants, but around here we protect the innocent, the good, the true light in the world."
Wait a minute. What platform was this on?
This is Twitter.
Hold on. You said around here we do what?
Listen, I'll tell you. I understand what you're saying. But again, that goes back to my Wild West analogy.
Yeah.
Around these parts, it goes back to the Wild West analogy.
Motherfucker was typing with his 6-shooter like around these parts.
Around here, we protect the innocent, the good.
Pluck this hat like around these.
I mean, it's kind of how the world works.
Miss Mojo, I hope you see this when you unlock. You deserve to be dragged, and I reject your lame attempt at redemption.
Right? Also, the red flag is her Twitter name.
Well, I'm gonna get to that. So the guys defending her quote tweeted that quote and said, "Miss Mojo is a black trans woman who has done a tremendous amount of things for black queer folks, both offline and online."
We ain't talking about that though.
Right. I don't feel comfortable because the person who said this happened to be white. I don't feel comfortable with white people being able to say these types of things about her, regardless of what people think she deserves. She's also being antagonized by the entirety of Twitter. I know that people are super vigilant around Michael, especially when people have antagonized him before, but that's not a reason to kill Miss Mojo.
So don't come over here. All right, if
not
you know,
for gaming, not for other women,
nah,
not for nobody.
I'm not going for that. Don't. If this was such a widespread viral moment where motherfuckers was trying to dogpile Michael and then all these people came to their defense, then you don't bring your ass over there with their bullshit. The internet, this is the one thing. The internet is huge bro.
Bruh.
When my daughter turns that TV on and she goes to the YouTube app and I see her dashboard, she watches things I didn't even know existed.
Right.
That's how big. That's one site.
Right.
That's how big the internet is. You shouldn't have brought your ass over there starting shit.
Right.
That's it.
Very simple. So, going down the rabbit hole of his tweets, he said, "Here's the thing. I don't know how old he is."
Mhm.
Preface with that. Also,
Okay.
I don't know where he's from. He seems to be a black man.
Mhm.
It's the problem. I always find it a little suspect
Mm.
when you claim to be a black person,
Mhm.
but you wildly misinterpret common black saying.
Yo, I'm glad you said that because I have observed this as well.
Bruh.
And typically what I find is a lot of these people are exaggerating their connection to the black community.
Oh.
Mhm.
They're greatly exaggerating. I'm talking people who I can demonstrably prove are black people.
Right.
That don't mean they have a connection to the black community.
Right.
That's
Maybe
true.
they didn't grow up around them, or they grew up in a certain situation where there was some there, but not. And honestly, this is not really good. I don't think this is a good character trait that I see come from a lot of people. This is just not even just black related, but typically when somebody is in a situation where there is a power mismatch, where there's a certain group that has all the power and they win, they have the narrative. They're living better than everybody else. They have access to things that everybody else doesn't have. The people that don't have that, and there are clear reasons why they don't, tend to try to glom onto that because that becomes the goal.
100%.
And now everything these motherfuckers say, that motherfucker says to you. They go,
Mm-hmm.
and then they talk down to, yeah. I see that a lot, bro.
I was looking through because the only way I actually even came across this tweet of his is because somebody that I follow quote tweeted him.
Right.
So I was going through their interactions, and she was saying like, you're either being disingenuous or you have a very horrible understanding of being able to read and use context clues. Nobody is trying to kill her.
Yeah.
Nobody's trying to kill her.
Yeah.
And his response to that, his proof that people were trying to kill her, were a couple of quotes using terms like, "If I see you, it's on sight." Sir. Sir. I know that your skin is brown, but it's very hard for me to believe that you have any connection to the black experience in the United States of America.
No.
If you don't understand what the term on
On
sight
sight
means. Yeah.
On sight does not mean I want to kill you.
No.
It could potentially end that way.
Because you could end up getting your ass beat depending on how the situation goes.
Right.
But that's not.
It's not. No.
Bro, I had years ago when I wrote a song called I forget the fucking name, but in the song I dissed Bill Cosby, Oprah, and Al Sharpton, and in the chorus, I'm specifically, let's say, motherfuckers who ain't down with the culture for real. A lot of the people had a problem because I said, now I have a bullet in the gun for every one of you. I'm talking about these verses. I got this.
Right.
First verse for you, Oprah. Right. Second verse for you, Bill. Third verse for you, Al. Nobody who was into hip hop misunderstood that.
Right.
Nobody that was into hip hop misunderstood that.
Right.
But all the people who don't listen to the shit, and to be clear, I saw a post earlier today that kind of fits this, where the girl posts, people don't defend what's right anymore. They defend who they like. Right. If motherfuckers like them true. For whatever reason, then they're not going to give you the most charitable interpretation of what you said. They'll find a way to, yeah.
So, back in this mojo. So, when when she started getting the backlash, she made her Twitter private. She changed her bio to "I don't reply to bots." And she changed the link in her bio. She changed the link in her bio to darkvibes.com.
Wait.
Hold up. Did she just accuse this man of being dark?
No, that's the point. That was her doubling down.
Oh.
Yeah, that was her doubling down. Slightly later, after people found her Facebook account and other ways to get in contact with her, she then changed her Twitter bio to "I made a joke on Twitter that was amplified in super dark ways. I take full accountability for the impact over the intent. Y'all won." And she changed the link in her bio to "I'm sorry, Michael.com."
Wow.
Yikes.
Wow.
It came full circle.
Yeah, my question about that is, there's no way you can know. Is that a real epiphany she had at that certain point? It was like, yeah, I did come in hot and I blah, blah, blah.
The reason I can say no, I do know. The reason I can say no is because she said I made a joke on Twitter. That was not a fucking joke.
Okay. That's a good point. That's a good point. That wasn't a joke.
So hard.
Yeah, that wasn't a joke.
You fought back so hard. That wasn't a fucking joke.
That wasn't a joke.
You made an assumption. And
you trying to diffuse the backlash. You trying to diffuse because motherfuckers probably coming over to her profile, dropping all kinds of bombs.
and in the event that it was intended to be a joke, you bombed. It wasn't a good joke.
You know what you say?
Terrible joke.
You know what you say when the first bit of criticism? Damn, y'all was just joking.
Right.
You said immediately.
Immediately.
But you didn't do that.
Not switching the target. Not, see, this is the darkness that I was talking about. You didn't do anything. This is people defending him. But unfortunately, so again, that part of the story had a bit of a happy for me.
Yeah.
People like me,
yeah,
who don't mind the extreme measures.
Right.
A bit of a happy ending.
I also think that something that was not addressed in that whole thing is her using the dark thing and then her being described as a dark skin. Right. Like so you still, I thought we already didn't.
And her using that in her bio apology, there was dark energy taking over the joke. Like, what are you talking about?
Oh, didn't Denzel Washington teach us anything when he played Malcolm X and looked in the dictionary and started talking about, we ain't learned nothing? No.
Right.
Cool.
Cool. So that part of the story, again, people like me, and a happy ending.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Happy endings for everyone.
Well.
Uh-oh.
I wouldn't go.
Uh-oh.
Unfortunately, this is Michael's response to the whole thing.
Oh,
yikes.
Fuck. He's about to fuck up.
Dear Solano County Library, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for raising me as a homeschool library kid. This is a place where I've always felt safe, where I've always felt like I belong, where I've always felt like I've had friends. You gave me my first job as a library worker. You made me a librarian. I went from library kid to being in charge of the library where I grew up in. It has been the honor of my life. I have made some of my closest friends in my 10 plus years as a Solano County library worker. I love my friends. I cherish them. They mean everything to my heart, to my soul. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But my last day at Solano County Library will be March 1st. I am leaving to prioritize my mental health, to work with my mental health check-in team. But I'm hoping to make you so very proud. I'm hoping to fight for literacy. There is so much going on across the nation, across the world that are impacting libraries, and I want to support them as much as I'm able to, worldwide, nationwide, going before Congress, letting them know how much libraries need funding, deserve fundings. Funding libraries is funding the community, funding our togetherness, our unity, making us better people, starting as library kids and library grown-ups. To the library kids, to the library grown-ups, I'm so very sorry. I am going to miss you, but I'm still going to be around. I'm going to keep on visiting. You're in good hands. I love these library workers. They love you. They care about you. They are passionate about your library joy. I love library joy. I love book joy. I will always love Solano County Library. Thank you.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Biddy Wilden. Remember the part when I was talking about Biddy Wilden? She Wilden.
So
Yikes.
man, unfortunately,
that's crazy, man. So he's leaving. Turns out.
Yeah. I mean, apparently he's gonna keep up the fight for literacy, but
he seems unwell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never heard him any other time.
That's my first time even seeing.
I don't know who this person is.
Yeah, but yeah, it's you can hear it.
Unwell.
No, there's a definite,
you can hear it.
He's a definite consistent.
You know what it looked like? It looked like if you was to do this to the back of his head, all these tears would come out.
Right.
That's what it looked like.
There's definitely me hearing other times that he's spoken. There's definitely a consistent catch in his voice.
Yeah.
That does not exist other times.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Cause it's a lot. Like people.
Damn, Mike.
People don't want. Not want. People, as much as it may seem, as much as it is displayed to be some version of normal, virus-C is not really a thing that most people can deal with.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Bro, you said a whole word right there because I literally watched via my daughter and her YouTube shit a bunch of creators that got big subscriber counts, get big engagement the last couple of weeks, one by one. Yeah, I gotta do something else about mental health. This, that, and other. Bro, that shit is serious. And the people that think they want it, I get why they think they want it. I get it because best case scenarios are what we always focus on. Yeah. In best case scenario, you getting all of these subs and attention is sponsorships, is advertising, you doing what you like to do, and it's more than funding your lifestyle. People want that shit, and I don't blame them for wanting it. I don't. But there is another side to that shit where you are literally under scrutiny 24/7 from people who you will never meet, constantly judging what you do, what you said on the. If you misspoke something on the thing, then you got a ton of comments all focused in on that. And you know how it works. You could have 10,000 comments that are mostly positive. It's the one that's fucked up that you focus in on and shit. Because I guess that's just the way creative people are in general. Because I hear that too much from the creatives. Oh, way too much from the creatives. Like,
listen, I've had a few touches with the mini virus-C, and in those moments, it's like, like. So nobody, that's not the case. Like in my head, like for instance, the Swagger Like Us video.
I knew that's the one you was referencing.
I'm like, yo, so nobody liked it, and then I look at the comments and I'm like, oh,
plenty of people liked it and agreed with you.
That liked the video, agreed with everything I was saying.
Yep.
But it's just the deluge. It's the deluge, and then
the negative shit hit harder. The negative shit hit harder. You know what I'm saying? The negative shit hit harder. And I think this is an inherent flaw in the way humans' brains developed from an evolutionary standpoint. Because think about it. All of the people with some of the worst character traits, humans tend to follow and defend and are intrigued by. Some of the worst people that looking back on their shit, I guess it's easy for us because we saw the whole thing play out. Like, yo, y'all ain't see this red flag? Y'all ain't hear when he said that? Right. He's horrible. She's horrible. Why did so many of you follow that? Yeah. And I'm telling you now, 30 years from now, people are going to be having the same conversation again.
Oh,
and motherfuckers are going to be, people that are around that follow are going to play that same bullshit they played when I was like in my early teens. They're going to act like they wasn't the ones trying to scare the busload of black kids from going to the school No, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. Just like the motherfuckers that believe the dumbest conspiracy shit ever and go all online with their whole faces and then calling everybody else dumb for not believing it. And then when it turns out that the shit not true, those people, they jump in the crowd with the normals and like, yeah, that's crazy. Oh, excuse me. Wasn't you sharing that shit? Wasn't you sharing that?
Thanks.
Shit crazy,
Negative
bro.
in general. Like, just think about daily life. If you have a bad day, that hits harder than a good day. You talk about that with your friends before you talk about good moments.
That's facts.
Negative is just more intense.
Yeah.
And you know, it's crazy because I had a conversation with my brother Marlon. And you know, when you start getting older, you become face to face with your own mortality, right?
Mhm.
And at that point, you have to make certain decisions about the way you think about shit. Like me, when me and Marlon was talking about, I was like, I have gone out of my way in the last 10 years to take a moment when I'm not in pain, nobody after me, I'm not about to get locked the fuck up no time. Me and my wife getting along great, the kids is doing well, to breathe that in. I'm walking outside.
Mhm.
It's a nice ass day. I'm not hungry. Breathe it in. All them trees look great. When me, SBJ, and Keith used to go with the photography shit, you gotta take time. Absorb it.
Sir.
Yes.
I'm loving what you just said,
Mhm.
except the clear lie that you just spit out of your mouth.
Which was?
When I'm not hungry.
Shut
sir,
your
listen.
face. Shut your face. The whole thing, not the mouth, the whole face. Shut it. Shut it.
I've been in your presence several times, and I
Mind you.
do not know that is the thing. I don't know that that's a state that Tombstone exists in.
Mind your
Yeah.
business.
Okay.
Look, hold. When we went and did that birthday party, they had plenty of food up there. You ain't see me ravenous. I conducted myself very well.
Hold up. Now, my argument is not that you don't have food.
Oh, okay. So what you trying to say is, nigga, you was hungry. You just didn't eat.
I'm just saying, my guy. All right. So yeah, let's go to the weekend review.
Yeah. Let me go with mine first. So this past week I did an interview. I did two interviews with my man Christopher Colburn. I told you guys about that the other day, and it came off pretty good. We have like another one that's we got that in the tank, waiting for that to come out as well. And I haven't had the chance to really jump in and do much editing. Like if you noticed that last interview, there was way more editing I wanted to do with that. But sitting in this chair for long periods of time in my current health state is trash. It is trash. And SBJ will tell you when it comes to editing, yeah, you're gonna be in there digging, and especially doing the type of shit him and I like to do with the content. So there's a lot of little intricate little things that go into it. I was like, nah, I'm just putting the picture up here at this point. I'll put this picture here. But there was a lot more I wanted to do with that shit. But I think it came out great. And this is the thing this is how you support, bro. So I made sure that video wasn't going to be behind the paywall. Anybody can go to Patreon, click on the link, and you can see it. Because more people see it, the better. But I also want to drive people to the Patreon, right?
Absolutely.
So when Chris shared his shit, his mom shared it, girlfriend shared it. I believe I'm not mistaken, a bunch of his teachers when he was in school may have shared that shit too. And a healthy amount of comments and shit like that. Like, that's how you support. And mind you, Christopher is not a lightweight. as far as doing things in his life. My man has an Emmy for the HBO series Gemstones. All right, he worked on that. He was part of the crew of that, and he got an Emmy for it. Right, so he's not a lightweight with that. But to see the way they reacted to him announcing that he's part of Majestic Comics, we are, for the record, we are a small, very small comic book company. All right, very small. We ain't Marvel. We're not Image. We ain't even Dark Horse or IDW. All right, we are very small, and they took this as a big deal, right? And presented it as such. Showed out for the man. That is how you support. Right there. He did a great job. Very well thought out. The way he answered the questions, all that was dope. And we plan on doing more because SBJ also has an IP that's going to be published on Majestic. And the moment he tells me he ready to talk about it, I'll put that camera right in his face. Put that camera right in his face.
Thanks.
And we're gonna get all of that out and promote that shit. And what I'm pretty well aware of the audience that me and Graydon have kind of cobbled together these last 11, 12 years. I know they're going to support that same way they support E&E, right? So, which was awesome. The support for that book is awesome.
Right.
So I feel like it's SBJ has a book, Sci-Fi has a book that's going to be published under there. I feel real confident in the content Majestic Comics is releasing. I do, because I know these cats, right? Right. The person I've known the least amount of time is Sci-Fi. You know what I'm saying? But I've known him long enough to know his level of creativity. I've read the synopsis. I've read the story. Like, nah, people bringing their A games with that shit, right? So that was good to see. The other thing is, yo, why won't these fucking cats? So it's no secret that I don't like people inside of my house. It's no secret.
I'm not sure if I heard that.
Yeah,
you heard it. So
It's new information.
No, it's really not. It's really not. So even within the house, there are places I don't want people to stay. This is my shit. My studio section. This is my shit. Now, had the stars aligned right when we were moving from Asgard, aka Russet Laurel, we would have found a place that would have had that extra room. And that extra room would have been the studio room, and I would have had a door.
Yeah.
Keep cats out, keep everybody.
Thanks.
My creative space. Don't need y'all all up in here with the bad vibes.
Right.
Uh-oh. Is it dark vibes?
I don't need y'all in here with the darkest of vibes on the darkest timeline, right? But as it turns out, it's not what happened. And don't get it twisted. I like the house fine. I like the block. I just don't like the surrounding shit. You have to go maybe 10-minute, 15-minute walk up the street and get off that Baltimore Avenue before I start liking shit again, right? Before I start liking shit. But so us living here means I don't have the extra room. So I had to take a corner of the downstairs living space for my studio. Some people see this, and I remember when I first put all this shit up here, people thought it was bigger than what it is. No, this is literally a corner. All right, SBJ, you know what I'm talking about. This is literally a corner.
Okay, both things are true though. It's not small.
Look, my section.
It is a corner though. It is literally a corner.
It's a corner.
But it's not small, my guy.
It's stinky. I'm claustrophobic.
You know what? I feel like you're exaggerating.
Just a little, only a little, but it wouldn't be terrible if you didn't exaggerate. So,
Shoosh. So the issue is though, cats, especially when they're young, they like to chew shit.
mhm.
Now, I don't know if any of you are familiar with how studios work. There are a lot of wires.
Much, of course.
I'm about to have to deal with this.
and see, the reality is, to a cat, that looks like some good grade A chewing.
Mm.
Ooh, this is hanging down. When I hit it with my paw, it jiggles, which then activates the chase reflex.
Right.
Ooh, I wonder how it. I want to avoid that.
Right.
It took me a lot of years to accumulate this equipment I have.
Mhm.
Oh, if you could have been there in the beginning. I'm there with sticks, rocks, paste, cardboard, and bobby pins, trying to make beats, trying to record videos. Not living like that anymore. And it took a while to get there.
Right.
So I'm not trying to needlessly have to replace shit because a cat felt like he didn't get enough fiber optic in his diet. Fuck out of here. Everything was fine though. Unfortunately, we had a loss in the family. JB, the cat, passed away. He was a good cat, even though he got on my goddamn nerves. But I don't think we ever had a more loving cat
Right.
than this cat right here. He knew where he belonged, blah, blah, blah. Family members felt like they needed another one. Now, Yetta didn't feel this way because it was perfect at this point. There were there were 3 cats. So 2 of them were young, relatively. They had each other, chase around, do all that. The old cat, Makiba, therefore will be left the fuck alone like she wants. It's perfect. Got another cat. The cat looks very similar to JB, except for JB's kind of whole face up to a certain point was black and he had the white shit there, where this cat has the white streak down here, but it's still a tuxedo cat.
Right.
He is the goofiest thing I have ever seen. This cat, after he commits some act of mischief, he skips off. That's not a run. That's a skip.
What the fuck would he be running from?
From the scene of the crime.
Nigga.
Mm-hmm.
He wants you to see, he wants you to know.
They
that
don't
he was
care.
involved.
On to the next one. On to
Yeah.
the next one.
Yes.
And he has taken a shine to this corner. He wants to be over here.
It's a playpen.
He likes you.
No, I don't think. It's not
Jungle
me.
gym.
Do I look like a likable person to you?
I
A weirdo. Let's face facts. T'Challa was a weird cat.
sure.
All right? He was a one. He's a one of one.
Sure.
He was a one of one. All right. I'm a grumpy old dude.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Jenny.
the fuck?
Ah.
So, because he wants to be over here, he goes out of his way to figure out a way to get over here. And as time has gone on, I've made an attempt to block all of the entrances that he could possibly get in here as. As a result of doing that, though, if you saw what the surrounding area of my studio corner looks like, you'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
I'm gonna need a picture after this.
Never. And-
Because
There
the
are-
length you have to go to keep a cat out of anything is crazy.
And this is the thing. We're talking cardboard boxes. we're talking a child gate for the kid that's broken so it could fit in the thing. We're talking the little plastic drawer container in a certain section and things, plastic tote tops, stuff that it's a nightmare. So if somebody comes in here right now, they would walk in, see this, walk out, and then 5 minutes later, men in white coats and butterfly nets come in this motherfucker, and I'd be out.
Yikes. That bad, huh?
And you know the thing that sucks the most? He still has managed to get in here from time to time.
I was about to say, did it work?
It works. There are periods when it works.
Mm.
Like, damn, I can't figure out how to do it. But then he does. And he's by no means a smart cat. Oh, no, I've seen the smartest of cats. Zoralina is the smartest cat to have ever walked the face of the earth.
Okay.
He's no Zoralina. But if you try enough times, if you work the problem out in your head enough times, if you go with the trial and error shit, eventually you'll figure something out.
Sure.
What up, Stella?
What up?
And this is what happens. So what I need is a petition. Those
Partitions
partitions.
Okay.
That go over. You're so ass. That goes. That goes around this motherfucker. That's what I need. And I'm really not looking forward to taking down this moat, this castle. It is literally a ghetto ass Lord of the Rings on this motherfucker. As he attempts to storm the castle, and I have like catapults and shit. I'm dropping down hot oil, and a ladder pops up and kicking the ladder down.
Not a ladder.
This is the shit.
Bruh.
And you know how I know when he's been over here? Before I started, I used to keep my computer on all the time. Then I would wake up in the morning, get ready to start doing some work, and look at my screen. You remember the Matrix movie?
Sure.
You know how them screens used to look when they was monitoring somebody in the Matrix? My shit be all over, looking like that, shit streaming up, or like words that don't exist that we never heard. Just, and it was like a whole paragraph of just nonsensical letters because a cat somehow was moonwalking across my keyboard. He was doing the Dougie, the stinky leg, all on the keyboard. Yeah, exactly, Stella. Right here. Right here. Right here.
Yo.
All I want is the peace to create in my space, to write my Tolkien-esque tales of lore,
Right.
my Stan Lee-ish fantasies to be realized. And instead what I get
Your greatest antagonist
is the siege. The siege.
The cat wants to be a part of it.
Yep, he wanted to co-write credit.
Featuring, what's the cat's name?
This is the other problem.
Featuring.
His name is Superfly.
Oh, there we go.
Bruh.
You did that to yourself.
You got to put him on.
I didn't name him that.
Okay.
In fact, I fought against it. That's ridiculous. Why you call him? Because one thing, cats respond better to 2-syllable names. Right. I was out of pocket with T'Challa.
Right.
But he did manage to catch on. Because I broke it into song. T'Challa. And then how you gonna do that with Superfly?
I mean,
that's
a good name song.
They could have named him Snooker. Just Snooker.
Sure.
2 syllables.
I would
Snooker.
argue that you shouldn't. Not mind. Whatever.
Listen, all I'm telling you is he is the bane of my existence. He attacks my castle the way Aragorn and them attacked the Eye of Sauron up in Mordor. Like, it's the holy grail for him to get his ass over here and dance on this fucking keyboard.
He wants to be a part.
Right.
I need him to be a part too.
Okay.
Like a part from my area. Like,
Uh-huh.
get your ass over there.
Right.
Your ass over there.
Yeah.
Just
And
leave
see-
one of the keyboard runs in your comic.
Bro,
No.
yo, you gotta give him credit. You gotta credit.
Like-
him. That's right.
Like, you know, at the beginning, when people have their little like feelings about the book, just put one of those, and then the
Bruh.
cat emoji.
Yo, y'all have lost
and then
minds.
hype him too.
Yes,
No, it's not.
What?
It's not happening. No.
All right.
And by the way,
and that's why he's gonna keep coming over there.
Yup.
no, what's going to keep happening is he's going to keep getting sprayed every time. And now it's a water bottle,
Right.
but next time it's a hose.
Okay.
Stay the fuck away from
Then you're gonna mess up your equipment.
It's worth it. So worth it.
Yo.
So worth it.
No, nigga.
Listen. I just got finished deep diving into this science fiction book called The Three Body Problem. And one of the ways they kept that superior alien force from fucking with them for a lot of years was like, if you come over here with that bullshit, we'll expose both of our planets. Because that universe they're in, everyone stays quiet because you can get your shit rocked. Being like putting a billboard up there saying that, hey, we're here. We'll expose both of us. And we're going to get it, but you know you're going to get it too. Mutual assured destruction. Let's go.
Facts.
Let's go.
Then he said,
His
give him his
ass-
own keyboard.
He's what?
Give him
Right.
his own keyboard.
This is what I've done. I turn my computer off. When I leave here, I turn it off. Every time. Every time now. Because I don't want to come back to any soliloquies written by some dumbass cat. It bothers me. It does.
His story matters.
I argue that if you could like do a seance and
bring the
get
child
Zora-
back.
No, Zora, she can
Oh,
translate.
yeah,
for you.
yeah, man. See, this is what I'm talking about. How, yo,
Why you getting started?
we used to call her the governor. She would govern. What? She was the smallest one of them. But when she walks in there, all of a sudden everybody tighten up. I remember one time they was in the kitchen going hog wild over some treats or some shit that Yetta had put down there. And they don't know how to act, and they jumping around and singing, knowing damn well they've been trained to sit your ass down to receive these treats. They wilding out of nowhere. Zora comes, boom, between the midst of them, and everybody parts. I'm like, the governor. The governor. And you know why? Because Zora loved people, but she hated cats. It's the only way to keep these motherfuckers in line. You gotta have a bit of resentment. Just a bit of resentment.
That is hilarious.
They get on my goddamn nerves. But it ain't really all of them either. It's not really all of them. It's just currently, it's this run.
Yeah.
Superfly, it's this run. And any other time, he's a cool cat. Okay, I'm lying. I'm lying when I say that. Ask these other cats about him. Just ask. Ask them. How they feel when they try to take a nap. He
Mhm.
come over there, lay next to him, start grooming. But it's a finesse. Because like 5 or 10 seconds later, and they like, damn! There's one of these cats in here. You'll see how they feel. The only one up in here that really tolerates that shit is Cleo. And that's because Cleo will whoop his ass at any given moment. You start some shit, and she don't take offense to it. Maya takes offense to it. Makiba takes offense to it. You can tell. It's the spitting.
Mhm.
Hey, get the fuck out of here. Cleo's just like, oh, combat, is it? is that what you want? Combat? Boom. Where you going? Where you going? Where you going? I thought you wanted some smoke. That's the only one. These other two cats, they get offended by his mindless attacks and his skullduggery.
I mean, okay.
He's a bastard. He's such a bastard. He's such a bastard. And yes, there are times I'm not gonna completely bury him. There are times when he's cool. You say, well, he's not. That's still finesse though, bro. Like he's setting up for the. I came in here one day. My daughter is sitting on the couch, on her computer, and wears Superfly in her lap. I said, look, he all calm now. That's cool. I go into the room. I had, come here, get over there. Literally seconds later, he's ass.
Point of order, sir.
Yes.
Maybe it's you.
Look, I have decided a long time ago that it's all me. I have decided a long time ago that y'all don't actually exist. That I am a brain out into the universe, and I made all of you up because I've been out there for millions of years and it's boring as fuck.
Right.
Y'all don't really exist. It's just me. Okay. And somewhere in here, I thought I deserved this. apparently, I figured I deserved this shit.
Yikes.
Yeah, it's my existence. I exist. None of you else do. None of you. You're not real. How could you be real?
Oh, all right.
You know those white jackets that you mentioned earlier? It's about time.
But anyway, that's my goddamn week.
All right. Chrissy. Any of your shenanigans that have nothing to do with me?
Oh yeah. I was gonna skip your part. Let's talk about work. Y'all know I have not been able to talk about work, but now I can a little bit. So I was gonna leave my job for a whole lot of reasons, but one of the reasons is that I'm moving across town. Another reason is because I want time with my mother. So I wanted a remote job, or at least hybrid. My job doesn't offer that.
Interesting.
So I started looking at jobs and I found one and I did an interview. And during the interview, one of the ladies said, I have a question and I'm going to tell you why I'm asking it at the end. I'm like, okay. She said, how do you work with difficult people? It's a normal interview question. So I answered her.
I know what face popped up in your head.
A lot of faces. So at the end, she tells me she asked because she had a previous relationship with my job.
Interesting.
So backstory, at the end of last year, my job merged with another company.
Okay.
My company took over that company. So she tells me she had a previous relationship. I'm like, cool. That might give me a foot in the door.
Nah.
It did.
Oh,
I got hired.
Oh, nice.
And I accepted the offer. And I was like, yes, found a good opportunity. Everything's fine. Or so I thought. So their communication wasn't great. And because of their lack of communication, I had to push back my start date to April.
Oh.
It was fine because I'm not moving till then. So I was supposed to have a meeting about my new start date. My best friend comes to me and says, before you have this meeting, we need to talk. I'm like, okay. She tells me that the lady that interviewed me went to our old company and recruited like 4 people.
Oh, she on a revenge tour.
Exactly. People I was trying to get away from.
No.
Had my best friend not told me and not overheard that, I would have went to orientation and saw all of them. And I would have walked right back out.
You'd have went to orientation and noticed, damn, this looks just like where I was
Yo.
working. Same desk, chairs, the window placement, plants,
Right.
wallpaper.
I said, she's trying to take all of us. And she used my interview, hearing what happened, and after that, went and got all of them. She talked to me first.
Ooh.
So I rescinded, declined the offer.
Yeah, because now you don't have to worry about them people. They're gone now.
That. And if you're already being that messy, I don't want to be involved.
True.
I want to be elsewhere.
So what are you gonna do now?
Well, I went and told the CEO everything. And he made some accommodations for me.
Interesting.
So for the foreseeable future, I'll still be there. And at the same time, I'm going to work on opening my own practice, which is what I wanted to do anyway.
Right.
So that was crazy.
That's awesome, though. I mean, listen, it's an origin story. It's the origin story. When you open your business, you say, hey, I did that because blah, 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 blah. And when you're doing your TED Talk in about 10 years, when you're doing a TED Talk, you can bring all that shit up.
I'm just like,
that is messy.
Why would you do that?
Revenge
it's so
story.
messy. And so when I declined, I didn't say why.
Mm-hmm.
I just said, I declined the offer. I wish you luck. And the reason I wish them luck is because the person I work for,
what's up, Random,
is the CEO of, he's the head of social work, national social work. So I don't think you should fuck with him.
Yeah, that might be a problem.
So I wish them luck because I don't know what he's going to do, but I just gave him the information.
Hold up, I just thought of something really that could really be bad. So let's say he takes it personally. Because he probably should. I mean,
it's personal.
It's personal, right? And then he does something that causes that to kind of fold, and then all those same people who they got rid of wind up coming back.
Right. Well, they're going to try.
Would he hire them back? Right.
Oh, that's true.
No. The funny thing is, lately the front desk has been ringing, and it's people asking for employment verification for them.
Interesting.
And he's like, I don't even want to give it.
Yikes.
Stop fucking with powerful people.
Yeah.
Just don't do it. Or find another way to do it.
Or find another way to do it, right.
Be more overt than that. I mean, less overt than that.
Yeah, like, why would y'all do that?
It's like you're poking the bear that's awake.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he just sharpened his claws.
Right.
Hey, you. Hey. Hey. Ugh.
So yeah, that's been a big thing. The only other thing that doesn't involve the other person in this room is I went out with my friends last week, my girl group. And whenever we go out, we talk for hours. We have a lot to talk about our lives. We like go around the circle. It's a whole thing. So we went to Hibachi Grill in East Point. And one, they don't have heat. There's a sign on the door that says no heat.
Wait a minute, whoa, it's wintertime and they cook shit.
Yeah. No heat. We just were like, okay, whatever. We'll leave our coats on. We just wanted to talk. It's like 7 when we get there. They close at 9. At 8 o'clock, they see the first person with dessert. And you know how that goes. Whenever they see dessert, they bring that check over.
That's right.
But we had paid already before we sat down. So they came over with the fortune cookies. Cool. We're still talking. At like 8:10, we start smelling cleaning products. I'm like, they're trying to get us out of here.
I get you the fuck out of here.
We kept talking. They don't close till 9. We already done our food. We've already paid. why did our server come over and throw more fortune cookies at us? Like literally tossed them on the table.
Because they had too many of them. They had too many in stock. They probably was well, how can you tell if a fortune cookie is stale?
Right.
That's it. But yeah.
And they was ready for us to go.
Yeah, get the fuck
Threw
out.
the cookies.
Yeah, what the fuck y'all doing?
It was rain. They made it rain.
They really did.
Closing time is suggestion. The fuck is wrong with you?
And then she was like, "Have a great day." Like,
y'all hadn't even got up
she
yet.
wants to go.
Y'all haven't even got up yet. Have a nice night.
Right, and kept looking at us like, "Are y'all leaving?"
Look at y'all looking at the door. Come on, y'all niggas ain't catching the head. The fuck?
So we left, but we weren't done talking. So we were trying to figure out where we could go. We went to Moe's up the street. They didn't close till 10. So we show up at like 8:30. And the bartender is like, "Do you want a menu?" We're like, "We're just going to drink. We already ate."
Yeah, we just ate.
Yeah.
We got
she brings
full on
menu.
fortune cookies.
Right. She brings the menu. And we could tell something ain't right. Like she's under the influence of something. And she's like, "Don't drink too much. I don't want y'all to end up like me." What is going on?
Huh?
She's doing a lot of sniffing. Yeah, it was a whole thing.
Sniffing.
She tries to tell us her life story.
Oh,
We're
no.
trying to tell our stories around the table.
Oh, you wanted to talk.
And she jumps in our story. We never go out in Point. We usually go to Applebee's at either White Marsh or Towson. So we said from now on, we're just going to stay in our area. We're not coming to East Point.
Yeah,
we don't belong.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have went out. East Point, I have bad experiences. I have good experiences, but I also have bad experiences.
Right.
I'm good.
So those were the two highlights of my week: being told not to be a drug addict and being a part of a whole mission with my job.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Both of those. Well, the second one is funny.
Right.
That first one is crazy.
Like, how did I get involved in this? I was just looking for a job. I was not trying to double cross nobody. Nothing.
What was the name of that place? The Double
involved.
Cross Ranch? Like, what the fuck?
Right. Like, imagine if I would have started there. The CEO got wind of the fact that I started there with other people and then think I'm involved in that whole thing.
I can see him now. It was a plot the whole time.
Right. Yeah. That's my week.
Damn it.
Because I'm going to chime in on yours.
I was like, yo.
That's crazy.
Like, yo, tell like snitch immediately.
And I did.
Yeah.
Because I'm at work and I call him or I text him and say, "Can I call you?" He's like, "Yeah." He probably already knew something was up.
Yeah.
A call in the workday, like right now.
Right.
Emergency. Like, the fuck? What happened? What is going on?
That is
no. Snitch. Snitch
now.
I sung like a canary.
All right, so when I started writing my notes for this week, my intention, we'll put it like this: I have something to say that has been in my show notes for like 2.5 weeks, but we never get around to it. This will be no different. We're not going to get to that because I don't know if people understood or not. This is going to be a truncated episode. It's not going to be the full episode. So
I don't think people understood, but they do now.
People are stupid.
Hold on, whoa. Where you get that from?
Well, see, I need y'all to really let that sink in though. Like, people are really stupid.
Wait a minute, I think that's a stretch.
No. See, people are a level of stupid that even I had never fully contemplated. Understand that I'm saying that even with the context of what we usually talk about.
That's crazy.
On this show.
No, listen. No, bro, that's turtles all the way down. No,
No,
it's no,
no,
bro.
listen. And I still was flabbergasted at how these monkeys behaved this week. So Wednesday, I was on my way to work. Dawn had an issue that she wanted me to look at. So before I got in my car, I walked around the corner to the front office, helped her with her work issue. Got in my car. It's like, okay. It's like a detour, but other than that, it's gonna be a normal day. Famous last words. So driving, I'm doing my normal baby driver. And I'm driving. I'm at light where there's a gas station. I talked about it the other week. There's a intersection where there's a light, and then a light before that, and then a gas station where there's one entrance before the first light and one entrance after the second. I mean, after the first light, and then there's the second light.
Right.
So I am approaching that gas station, and I'm driving, and my steering wheel locks up.
Oh.
It wasn't hard to stop or anything. I still had control over the vehicle. It's just that the power steering was not working. I looked down. I mean, I stopped. Like I said, it wasn't hard to stop. The brakes were fine and all that other stuff. But once I came to a stop, I look at my dashboard and I see that my ABS light was on.
Right.
And my car was like, there's a charging issue. I'm like, wait. All of those things separately can't be happening. All right, cool. Full disclosure, everyone. All of my mechanical inclinations are really tied to technology.
Yeah.
Mainly computers.
Some
in the house stuff, but absolutely not cars.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not cars.
Yeah.
It's not my thing. So my IT brain kicked in, and I'm like, all right, again, there's no way.
Keep going. I can hear
you. I was right. There's no physical way that all of these systems are failing independently of each other at the same time. That's not what's happening. So I'm like, all right, it's clearly the computer not being able to reconcile what's happening. Let me cut it off, turn it back on, because that's how things work sometimes. I figured if I cut it off and turn it back on, it would at least let the computer reconcile what the hell's going on and tell me what the issue is. Well, when I turned the car off, I couldn't turn it back on. So at that point, I realized, oh, the battery. It's the battery. The battery is bad. I need a jump. Okay. But I'm sitting here stuck. Luckily, I was already in the right lane. Ideally, I wouldn't be in the street at all. But of the available places on the street that I could have been, this was the best place. So I turned off and unplugged everything that draws power from the battery. Chargers and stuff like that. Turned the heat off. And I put my headphones on. My initial thought was, all right, what the hell am I about to do? What's the first step that I need to take? Because I knew that potentially this was about to be a lot. So I went into problem solving mode. The most important aspect of the problem solving is to realize when you're in over your head. When this is not a situation that you can fix. And I arrived at that place very quickly. I knew I needed, at the very least, to get some other person to help me. I first thought it was Cofield, but I wasn't sure if he was busy. So I was like, all right, hold up. Then I remembered that I was supposed to be meeting up with my cousin DJ. I was supposed to be meeting up with him that day to take care of something. And all right, so it's possible, worst case scenario, I won't be able to do that. So let me text him, let him know what's going on. Car guy might not be able to meet up today. So he texted me back what happened and told me to call him. But while I didn't see those texts, I was still going through the whole, what do I need to do? I was about to call him, and I was like, oh, wait, I saw what time it was. Like, oh, shit, Marcus is going to be on his way to work in a few minutes. Marcus can just give me a job. I'm like, all right, cool. So I called Marcus, and he was getting ready to leave the house. But I also know Marcus, and I know I said he about to leave out the house. That's still 10, 15 minutes. So, all right, cool. I'm gonna be here for 10, 15 minutes. Like I said, I got my hands on. Let me call DJ back. So call him. I explained what happened. He told me to keep him posted. Like, all right, cool. He lives about 15 minutes from where I was. So he was like, I'm gonna just stay up, and you know, if you need me, call me back. I'll be on my way. It's all right, cool. So I'm sitting there waiting. Now to the sheer stupidity of people. So at this point, I'm sitting in a car about a car and a half length away from me. In front is the stoplight. I have my hazards on. There's an entire lane to my left. I'm far enough over to my left, but still completely in my lane, that sedan-sized cars could actually still drive around me to the right. Also, the entrance to the gas station is behind me.
Mm.
So there are 3 ways for any vehicle to get around me. Again, I have my hazards on. For those who don't know, for some reason, lights mean something is wrong. Or at least that you should go around the vehicle. So at this point, I'm sitting there with my hazards on waiting for Marcus. In the time that it took for him to get to me, my battery eventually died all the way, and the hazard stopped working. But before that point, at least 3 vehicles did this exact thing. Pull up behind me, on my bumper, sit there as the light turns green. Then after a little while, proceed to start honking at me. There was a small window of time when my hazard stopped working. I can't blame those people. I understand them. My car was just sitting there. There's no indication of any. Okay, I understand those people. So I'm not counting those. Marcus arrives. He drives into the gas station entrance that's behind where I am and out of the one that's in front of me in order to have his car facing my car so he can give me a jump. My jumper cables. I keep my jumper cables in my trunk. So I pop my hood. I pop my trunk. So now, the current position that my vehicle is in,
right,
is obviously disabled.
Stopped. Trunk wide open.
Up. Hood up.
Hood wide open.
And another car.
Another car. A truck that is facing toward traffic with its hood open. There's still people who are driving up to my bumper, sitting there for a minute, honking their horn at me. Only this time, some of them drove up to my bumper while the light was still green.
Bruh.
One car even sat through my bumper through 2 light cycles.
The trunk is up, the hood is up.
Listen. Oh, it gets so much worse.
Jeez.
We started doing the jump thing. We get my car to start. I'm sitting in my car. He's sitting in his truck. I'm assuming he's not that familiar with the whole jumping the car thing. He's not that familiar with it. Cool, not a problem. But I'm sitting in my car. I turn my car on.
Hey, y'all got your phone, so you can just like Google.
No, that's too much. We 5 feet away from each other. But anyway, so I get it to start. I'm sitting there for a minute. I get out the car to tell him, like, all right, we're gonna let this sit for like 5 more minutes. He had already turned his truck off. So at that point, effectively, at the point that he turned his truck off, I was now charging his battery.
What?
Because that's how that works. He was initially charging my battery, but since he cut his battery off,
You start charging it.
effectively. So my car was still running at this point. And he was like, should I turn it back on? I'm like, wait, no. Wait, hold on. So I took the cables off of my battery, and like 30 seconds later, battery died.
Oh man.
So we started the whole process over. And now, while it's charging, we're both standing outside of my car. Now, I'm not the tallest man in the world, but I'm definitely not short. And Marcus is slightly taller than me. There are still people who are driving up to my bumper, sitting there for a minute, honking and horning at me. Only this time, some of them drove up to my bumper while the light was still green. One car even sat on my bumper through 2 light cycles. Yes, I know I said this already, but I am not repeating a part of the story.
Bro, what the hell?
Again, the only thing that has changed at this point is that now there are 2 men who are taller than the car who are standing right beside it.
So let me get this straight. Trunk open, hood open, a truck in front of your car, and 2 men 6 feet tall and taller outside of the cars.
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Sitting there and then honking when the light turns. Yeah, all that. Okay.
So I don't know.
Bruh, I can't make this shit up. It's what happened. So a dude that does roadside assistance, he happened to be getting gas. He sees us, he offers his help. I forgot to mention why my battery was dead. So on top of just dying over time, there was a bunch of corrosion from the battery that was making it hard for the lead to connect to the battery. So the connection wasn't good.
Right.
So I figured and confirmed before this guy came that it was still charged, but when he tried to jump it, it wouldn't work for long. So apparently, and this is what he said, I can't confirm or deny. Again, my mechanical inclination don't got nothing to do with cars.
Right.
So he said jump boxes, or at least his particular jump box, they don't charge the battery. They just give it a quick jolt so that it can get started.
Right.
So I went to grab, it's crazy, but I know this because of hearing it so often. I went to grab a Coca-Cola because Coca-Cola cleans battery acid. So
you looked that up?
No, that's one of those ambient knowledge things.
Oh.
I've never had a reason to use it before in my life, but so I went and grabbed the Coca-Cola, went ahead and cleaned the corrosion off, and in order to get the better contact, and still that just got the car started, but not enough for anything to kick in.
Right.
I didn't know that for sure at the time what the issue actually was, but what he said is that most likely the The issue is that I needed a new battery. But if I kept trying over and over and over again, that can mess up the alternator or the starter. Worst case scenario, the alternator had already gone bad. The plan at that point was to connect back to Marcus's truck and let the battery charge for a while, because he said basically if he said basically I would need to have it sit there charging for like a half an hour in order to get enough power to move it out of harm's way. So that's what he started to do. Connected everything back at the Marcus truck. Started trying. If anybody listening knows Marcus, you know he has issues with being on time sometimes. So
sometimes.
I mean, listen, I'm being generous.
Okay.
So I made sure to let my boss know that he was late because he was helping me. Anyway, also at this point, I called DJ back. I told him what happened, and he told me that I need to get the car out of the street. No shit. Like,
yeah. Hey, yo, you need to get that car out of the street.
Right. Now, clearly to those listening, it's obvious that I'm aware of this, given how many dumbass people ignored every single vehicle was disabled. However, there was simply no way for me to get my car out of the goddamn street at this moment. He asked why we didn't just push it.
Yeah.
He later found out why we didn't just push it. So he got the phone. He was on his way. So I go to turn my car on. It cuts on. I get back to Marcus' truck because it's cold as shit outside. So we sit in his truck.
He's out there freezing his balls off.
We letting it charge. So now the position that my car is in, because it's on now. So the position that my car is in now is hazards on, trunk open, hood open, connected Marcus's truck, which is facing traffic, with its hood open. There are still people driving up to my bumper, sitting there for a minute, honking their horn at me. Only this time, telling them to drove up to my bumper. Yes, I know I said this already. I am still not the part of the story.
Yikes.
So the 30-minute mark comes. I take the cables off of my car. It was still running. But by the time we got everything off of both cars, both hoods closed, my trunk closed, Marcus was able to back up and get back in. By the time we did all that, the car died.
Oh.
So now the car is back to the same position it was. It's like so most of the cars that did that dumb shit during this time period, this small time period again, they're excused because now there's no way to know that my car is safe. All right, again, this again, it's very small time period. Then this one car is pulling up behind me. I literally stick my hand out of the window, motion for them to go around me. They still pull up to my bumper, sat there for a while, and eventually started honking at me. Marcus gets out of his truck and walks over to my car, so that again, someone is standing next to this disabled vehicle. There are still people who are driving up to my bumper, sitting there for me.
Yo, I can't with these.
Eventually, I get out of the car to stand with them and open my trunk all the way back up. There are still people who are driving up to my
car.
Yeah,
it's
now I forgot to mention something that Marcus pointed out. Like 5 or 6 police cars drove by in this time frame. Literally only one of them stopped to say anything. That's not how it's supposed to work. Bare minimum. If a police officer rides by and sees this type of thing going, they're supposed to ask, hey, everything okay?
Yep.
Bare minimum. A little higher than that, they will park behind the car and turn their lights on.
To let people know, because obviously.
Clearly. I still don't know if that would fucking work. But anyway, but no, 5 of the 6 just drove by. Not a word.
So fuck him.
Basically. So DJ gets there. He pulls up behind my car. He was on a crossover. When he pulled up, he put his hazards on. There were still people who were driving up to his bumper, sitting there for a minute, honking their horns at him when the lights turned. He realized he needed some tools out of his car. He goes to the back of his vehicle and he opens up the hatch. Now, in addition to the position I just gave y'all, his hatch is open. There are still people driving up to his bumper, sitting there for a minute, honking their horn at him when the lights come in. The worst part about all this, and again,
there's a worst part.
Oh, listen, no, this is what I realized. Like, so when some of this shit happens, that I don't be knowing if it's real or not, like the whole simulation thing. Like, I get this. So, but then there's something. There often with these things happens to be something that crystallizes and makes me know that it's real.
Mm-hmm.
The very worst part about all of this is this was Wednesday. Is that last night, Chrissy and I went to hang out with Dion and her daughters. When we went to get food, I was sitting in the car with her youngest daughter. How old is Courtney?
About to be 14.
About to be 14. She was talking about stuff she knows about cars. She showed me that she knew how to start the car. I was sitting in the driver's seat, by the way. She showed me she knew how to start the car. She showed me what she thought was the defrost. She got that one wrong. I corrected her. Then she said, unprompted, I know what that is. And she pointed to the hazard button. I asked her, what is it? She said, it's the hazard button. I asked her if she knew what it was for. She said, yeah, it's for something. It's for when something is wrong with your car.
A 13-year-old knows that. Who has never driven.
Never actually driven. Anyway, eventually we got my car into neutral. There's a release that you have to pull to get it to do that when the battery's dead. And that was a bitch to find and activate. That's when DJ found out why we hadn't pushed the fucking car. It's because where the car was stopped, I was if I broke down before the first entrance to the gas station, I would have been fine. But I was past that, and there was only the second entrance to the gas station. The second entrance to the gas station was on a hill.
Yikes.
So it took all three of us to get the car up the goddamn hill to get into the gas station.
Y'all had a workout.
Bro. Well, not me, because it was my car. You know,
right, yeah.
When the whole pushing happens, whoever's car it is, they got to turn because
right.
power steering wasn't a thing either. So, yes.
Yeah, still.
So we got it in there. Marcus went to work. I was like, yo, just go ahead and go to work. Whatever's going to happen at this point is going to happen or not.
Yeah, whatever's going to be, going to be.
You go ahead and go to work. DJ told me to get a new battery. That was a whole ordeal. Eventually, we got to the point where my car was up and running, and everything ended well. Or so we thought. Because of all the aforementioned annoyances, I called out of work once it was clear that this wasn't going to be a simple jump.
Right.
Because, like, just being honest, it was already a stressful situation. Not having the deadline of I gotta get to work, not having that on me made it much easier to deal with.
I'm sure.
So after we thought everything was good, I drove. Started off driving around the gas station parking lot a couple times, just make sure it didn't cut off. No issue. We drove from there to like Glen Burnie, no issues. Drove from Glen Burnie all the way to Park Heights, no issues. Sat in his house for a while. I drove from there to somewhere else, I can't remember. No issue. Drove from there to home, no issue. Chrissy comes over after she gets off. So we had this thing where we try, unless we forget or get lazy or the weather's bad, we try not to order food. Like, if we're going to eat out, we try to go get the fucking food. Yeah, so it's a scenario where the weather wasn't too bad. We wasn't feeling too lazy. Like, all right, cool, let's go to Chipotle. So my car was fixed. So I drove.
Right.
My mic.
Yeah, you are really low.
If I was low, why you didn't say nothing?
Because it wasn't low to me. But
Because I thought it was just me, because I'm not usually like this.
Okay.
well, now, you know,
Now you're really loud.
you know, this guy here,
I thought it was just me.
Yo,
this guy here.
so remember how I was talking about like it's like every like 30 or so episodes we have a we're add another audio. But anyway, so my car is fixed. So I drove to Chipotle. No issues. We get there. I get out the car. I go grab the food. I come back in. I close the door, hand her the food. Well, sorry, hand her the food, get in, close the door, look at my dashboard, checking charging system. Because of what had already happened and the research that I did during this time period, I knew what was coming.
Did you?
I said to her, hey, my car is about to cut off.
And I thought it was a joke.
Oh, no, darling, I assure you.
I was like, it has to be a joke because
He's
of all that he
trolling.
went through earlier.
Yeah, he's trolling again.
I promise you, I do not joke about not being able to get to the comfort of my home. I don't joke about that shit.
As long as there's Uber, you were straight.
No, because I couldn't leave my car there.
That was my thought.
That was my first thought was like, all right, we got to get home. Wait, no, I can't leave my car here. That would have been a whole bunch of more money. So, because this was a new battery, though, it wasn't dead in the same way that it was dead earlier, because the battery actually was dead earlier. But it was still undrivable. So now it's dark, it's cold,
And
I
hella
was
hot.
somewhere. Well, okay. I was somewhere that I was way less familiar with than the place I was earlier. And now I had a person with me, which was good because of the whole not being alone part, but bad because I have a person with me. I have
Yeah,
a
the person.
right, nigga. So obviously, no matter what the ultimate solution was, I needed roadside assistance. No matter what, I had to get my vehicle towed. I just had to figure out all the other pieces around that. So I called Marcus to put him on standby, let him know he was going to have to pick us up. Right. So he told me, let him know when the
Mark is the real MVP.
I mean,
Really?
what?
Really?
It's a co-MVP. It's a co-MVP.
Yeah.
Once I get to the end of the story, it'll be a co-MVP. But yes, he's one of the two.
Yeah.
I called him to put him on standby. He said, go ahead, call him back when the tow truck was on the way. It's all right, cool. So I knew I had roadside assistance. I just didn't know through whom, because a bunch of different companies offer roadside assistance because the companies want to give you perks for different shit and all that.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, the most obvious way that I would have roadside assistance is my insurance. Let me check my insurance. Okay, not my insurance. All right, cool. Wait, is it T-Mobile? Check T-Mobile. No, it wasn't T-Mobile. All right. The only real option left was one of my credit cards. So I'm like, all right. At first, I was about to go into each credit card app that I have. And I'm like, no, that's going to take too long. So I just Googled roadside assistance, insert credit card name. So I found out that it was my Discover card. It was my Discover card. And I went to click on the link that Google had provided me with.
Right.
And Discover no longer does that. And they stopped doing it in January of 2024. Right.
You can't win.
Nigga.
You can't
So-
break even.
Here's the thing. What it was called sparked the memory, and I realized that I probably had it through my MasterCard membership as well. So
Spark
I
the
logged
memory
into
drift
my
through you.
MasterCard membership, and when I found it, it asked for the card number that was associated with the account. Another bump in the road, because the card that made me eligible for the MasterCard membership is my Apple card. And for those who don't remember, when I talked about my Apple card, Apple cards don't have any fucking numbers on them.
Right.
So I logged into my Apple Card account, and there are no numbers to be found in the account either. So I Googled how to find my number, bruh. So I Googled how to find my Apple Card number, and the only way, of course, to find out your card number is to have an Apple device that has the wallet app on it. Again, this is the number one reason why I will never have an Apple device.
Have an Apple device.
Right. This is the number one reason why I will never have an Apple device, is because they do this walled garden shit that I find extremely unethical. You know, like, bro, it's so unethical. Now, Chrissy would have been able to help me, but it would have been an entire ordeal, because I remember what had the process I had to go through when I set it up with Marcus. That took fucking ever. I knew it was going to be. I didn't even ask her because I knew how long it was going to take and how difficult it was, because she already owned the device. It was already registered to her. She already had her stuff in there. It was going to take forever for me to get my stuff in there and get. It was going to take forever. So then I remembered that my mother had AAA at one point. I'm like, okay, so call her, because that was so much easier than trying to figure out the whole Apple MasterCard thing. She wasn't even sure if she had AAA. I didn't know how much AAA fucking cost for her to not remember if she still had AAA or not.
Yeah.
Because where's that anyway? So she did still have it. They sent somebody out. Now, it's been a very long time since I had to use roadside assistance. I've had my car for about 8 years, and this is the first time, first major issue I had with it. Yeah. If I remember correctly, AAA used to send out medium-sized tow trucks. And those tow trucks had people that had tools that could assist in any roadside assistance problems with it. Well, that's not what happened. They sent out a little van. The guy jumped the battery.
A van?
Yes. The guy jumped the battery, and he had another device with him, and he connected it to the battery, and he confirmed it was absolutely the alternator. I'm like, okay. But luckily the battery was still good. I'm like, all right, cool. So I don't have to buy another battery.
Yeah, just another alternator.
Yes, nigga. Right. Oh, that's a part of what's about to happen. So again, the issue though at this point is it wasn't a fucking tow truck.
Right.
So now he had to dispatch a tow truck to come out.
What the fuck are we doing?
And here's the thing that I since realized why it makes even less sense. It makes no sense because there's no extra charge. So it would have been better for everybody involved had you just sent the fucking tow truck first.
What I don't understand is, if you got a tow truck, the driver could have done the exact same thing.
He did the exact same thing. Not could have, because when he got there, he was like, all right, I'm gonna need you to drive the car onto the flatbed. And I'm like, the battery's dead. He said, I know, I'm gonna jump it for you. And you go ahead to drive it, maneuver it on to get on. The guy in the van was unneeded. Completely unneeded.
Yo, they
again
out wasted gas. Come on, bro.
And again, there was no extra fucking charge. The only reason I ended up having to spend any money, and it was $15, was because I was more than the amount of miles away from where I wanted to get towed. But if I happened to be around the corner from where I needed to be towed, I would have paid $0.
Yo, this corner's ass.
What? I mean, that's not true. The alternator was already dead. So, but so that happened. In the process of all that happening, Marcus goes to a mechanic that's like around the corner from us, like less than 3 miles away from us.
Around the corner from where y'all are currently located.
Yes.
Okay.
So, but because it was so late, there was no way of getting in touch with him. So we got the car towed here, and I was just going to call them again in the morning to tow it to the new place, because again, that would have been free. So that was the plan. That was the plan going to sleep. Now, mind you, when I realized that it was the alternator, I hit DJ back up like, yo, it was the alternator, it wasn't the battery. I guess he was asleep. I woke up the next day. Well, I mean, it wasn't anything I was expecting him to do. You know, I was just giving him information. Next morning, I wake up to text from him asking me to explain him, you know, exactly what happened.
Explain yourself.
So I told him what happened. My plan when I went to sleep, because my supervisor, not my supervisor, also texted me and asked me if I can bring something from one of the properties downtown when I go downtown Thursday. I'm like, all right, cool. So what I did was Dawn actually lives at that property. So I'm like, Dawn, can you grab this and bring it to work with you?
Right.
So I can take it downtown. I was going to, because Chrissy was here. Chrissy was going to take me to work. So we were going to wait for Dawn to get to work, grab that from Dawn. Chrissy was going to drop me off at work. Marcus would have brought me home. And then, well, first thing I was going to do was get the goddamn car towed to the shop. But I was still going to be able to go to work. So I wake up with him asking me what happened. I explained to him what happened. He said, yo, get the alternator. I will put it in your parking lot. I said, oh, okay. I'm like, you want to do that tomorrow?
Sounds good.
I said, you want to do that tomorrow? He was like, no.
Now.
Today. He said, I could be there at like 10. I'm like, okay, cool. Kinda. I mean, I messed every plan I had up, but it was more advantageous. It was more advantageous. It helped me
every
more.
planner,
It messed literally it messed every plan up because I was now absolutely going to be late to work.
Right.
If I even made it in. Whereas at first, I was going to be on time to work and everything would have been in motion to be taken care of. But it wasn't like, it just messed the plan up. It was a better plan.
Yeah.
It just messed the plan that I currently had in motion up. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I ordered the alternator online for pickup. I told him I'll go grab it in a couple hours. I ordered online for pickup. When it said that it was ready, I hit him back. All right, it's ready for pickup. I'm gonna go get it. We started getting up to get ready. He texts me. No, he calls me. I've mentioned this on here before when I talked about my goddaughter. My goddaughter also happens to be my cousin. Different generation, but still, she's my cousin. When we took them out for when we took her to Dave & Buster's for her birthday, and the whole miscommunication thing happened. And I told her, yo, we didn't nip this in the bud now.
Yeah.
Because me and your other cousin have a history of this, and it caused us a lot of trouble. Well, now that I am deep in my 30s and he is in his 40s, that problem is not going away. He is terrible at communicating. The only thing that makes it better now is I know that he's terrible at communicating. So when something doesn't make sense, I can catch him and get him to clarify before we make a definitive decision. So the words he said to me were, "This is not a parking lot job." I said, okay. All right. He said, I do have a mechanic that can probably do it as long as he's available. I said, okay, where is he located? He said, Park Heights. I said, nigga, that is further away than the shop that I was getting it told to. That's going to cost me more money.
And
it's
also,
not worth it.
That's Park Heights.
Well, sure. But I'm like, that's going to cost me more money. He was like, no, it's not. I'm like, all right, hold on. Let's back up. Let's back up.
Yeah.
Let's back up. You said this is not a parking lot job. What did you mean by that? He said, this is not something that I can do in a parking lot. I said, okay, so what you're saying is that this mechanic will be able to do it in the parking lot. He said, yes. I said, why didn't you say that in the first fucking place? So that gets cleared up. I'm like, all right, cool. He said, I'm going to call him and we're going to figure out what time and I'm going to let you know. So I'm like, all right, cool. We about to leave the house. We about to go get the part and stop by another store. We go get the part. We pick the part up. We go to CVS. We go in there. We come out. This nigga texts me. Yo, I wasn't able to get in contact with him. Sorry for interrupting your plan. Go with your original plan. I'm like, all right, okay.
Tim, it gets worse.
So we then, from that point, we go to the shop that I was going to get it towed to talk to the dude because they just want to put a car on his fucking lot and he have no idea where the fuck that car came from.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Probably not a good idea,
Crazy.
right?
Yeah.
Went to talk to him. I'm like, hey, you know, to let me know who it was. My Marcus friend, you know, you do a lot of work for him. Blah 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 blah. You know, oh, okay, yeah, Marcus, cool. What do you need? I told him I need an alternator, 2016 Camry. And he starts going, okay, cool. Starts working up the quote. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I already bought the alternator. Oh, no. We don't do that.
Oh,
We don't accept parts. We don't accept parts from customers.
that we didn't source.
I was upset until I thought about it. He makes so much sense.
Yeah.
So much fucking sense. He's
Yeah.
like, listen, what would
He
happen
don't know the
is
state of that motherfucker. He
I
put
don't know
in
where
there,
that part
he blame
came
him.
from.
Yeah, he's right.
I don't know that you bought this part new somewhere. I don't know if somebody got over on you. So
Right.
when I put this part on your car and it end up not working, you gonna
You
blame
gonna
me?
say
No,
I did something
mm-mm.
wrong. Right,
He's
right.
like, I can't do that. I'm like, okay, cool. No, it was actually easier than that Discord.
Wow.
So he was like, this is going to be the quote. It's like, it's not cheap, but I can guarantee that this is going to work. Nick, the part itself was about $250 more expensive than the part that I had just bought.
Holy shit.
Yeah. The total was like 700 something. So come out of there.
Damn it.
I get back in the car with Chrissy and I'm like, nigga.
Yeah, oof.
Mind you, at this point, I'm still thinking I'm going to work.
Right.
No,
This,
you're not-
again, the plan.
You're not-
You know what's funny about that? Wait,
You're
hold
not
up.
gonna work.
Wait. No. Don't bury the lead. Don't bury the lead. So I'm like, we've been doing too much.
Yes.
We've been doing way too much.
Facts.
Let's calm down, breathe a little bit. Let's go get some breakfast. So you go grab breakfast, and I'm like, all right, cool. I got to go with him. I don't really have any other options at this point.
Hold up. You had money for breakfast? That's
Yeah.
700.
Actually, you know what's funny? You know what's funny about that? She tried to not let me pay for breakfast, and I was like, "Nigga, I can afford the breakfast. The breakfast ain't the issue.
Yeah, it's $750 goddamn dollars.
The breakfast ain't the problem." So we eat, and I'm like, "All right, cool. I gotta go with him. I don't really have an alternative right now on such short notice. I gotta call my mother to get the AAA thing. I'm gonna wait till we get back into the apartment before I call my mother." So we go to take the part back. We get to the AutoZone. It was Advance. We get to the Advance. I'd get the refund, get them the part back. We leave Advance. We pull up to my apartment.
Uh-oh.
Before she puts the car in park, DJ's calling me back. Yo, we on our way.
Got in touch with him. We can do it. Can you guess what we did next?
I'm like, yo, I just returned the alternator. He's like, oh man, where you get it from? I'll go pick it up. I'm like, no, it's fine. We can go back and get it. It's not the distance to where it came from. It's the fact that I bought this goddamn alternator and also have returned it already, motherfucker.
Yo, all I keep hearing through this story is the Benny Hill music.
Facts. So we went back to Advance. So I go in. I'm hoping, like, I don't know. I've never worked retail in my life. I'm hoping that there's a way that they can cancel the refund. And actually, there was.
Oh, see, things are looking up.
Except
Oh, damn.
the way that he did the refund is not the way that he would have had to do it in order for it to be able to be canceled. So I'm like, all right, bet. So I ordered the online again. And he's like, all right, it'll be like probably 15 to 20 minutes before we actually receive the order. I said, cool, that's fine. I go back and I leave the store, go back into the car. We sitting there waiting. Something tells me, check that order. Because the way things had been going, someone's like, yo, check that order. So I checked the order. The order was going to store on Maryland Avenue. which was 30 minutes away from where we currently were.
Oh, jeez.
My cousin was already on his way to me. We were currently 5 minutes away from my house. All right, so I get out the car. I call the Maryland Avenue store. Hey, man, listen, I put this order in. For some reason, they sent it over there. Can you have that order transferred to the Maiden Choice location? All right, what's your name? James Davis. The order ain't come through yet. All right, fine. I'll call back.
So now you got to call.
As I get off the phone with him, I'm walking back to the store. Like, the dude at the counter saw me on the phone. I hung the phone up. I say to him, he's like, everything good? The order didn't come through yet. I said, it went to a different store. He said, oh, okay, what store? I told him Maryland Avenue. He gets on the phone. Hey, order for James Davis? Yeah, go ahead, cancel that. Yeah, no, just full cancel. He's getting it from here. Okay, cool. So you telling me the 5 seconds that it took for him to hear me and dial the phone, the order magically came through?
Yo.
So he got them to cancel that. I got the email that it was canceled. He let me just buy the alternator, and he gave me a discount. That was really nice of him, because he witnessed all the bullshit.
Yeah, but I still feel like the world playing in your face.
Nigga.
Yes.
What is playing in your face?
So the last crazy part about all of this, much less crazy than the shit that's just happened, but we pull up, like within 3 or so minutes, my cousin pulls up. I get out, I walk over, I pop the hood because he has to take the battery out, because just to make sure we were going to take the battery back to where we got it from for them to charge it again.
Right.
Just to make sure it hadn't died. So he takes the battery out, and then he looks at the alternator. He's like, yo, I could have fixed this 2 hours ago.
Oh my. Yo, the world is still playing in your face.
Because somehow a miscommunication happened, and he was looking at either the wrong year or the wrong model. And that's where the panic came from when he was like, yo, I can't do this, because the model that he found, the alternator was in a really weird place where you had to bleed the radiator and do all this and do all that. That's why he couldn't do it in a parking lot, because he didn't have the tools available to him to do it in the parking lot. Turns
This
out
is like one of those
the alternator was actually right there. It was right, but he didn't tell me the reason though. Had he told me the reason, I would have been able to say to him, that's not my car.
I wouldn't have went to work that day.
I didn't.
Or
Fuck
the
you
next day.
See,
Or
the
the
only
day
reason I went the
after
next day, well, I didn't. That's the
Or
day.
the day.
I won't, because that's tomorrow. But the only reason I went to work the next day, the main reason I went to work the next day was because I needed to test my fucking car out. Like,
yo, you could have did that around the park.
No, listen, no, not the same way. Because remember, the first time we thought it was fixed, it lasted all fucking day. So I didn't want to be in a position where I'm driving. I just know my car is fixed, and then I go out Monday morning to start my car, and this shit just don't start.
The car go, well, actually,
right.
well, actually,
car just be like, nah, nigga. Like, nah, bro. So yeah, that was my
yo, that is ass, yo.
Super eventful
Yeah,
2 days.
That is ass.
We went to that advanced store so much that we went back to that shopping center to go to the store, and I almost went to Advance.
Just all it happened. Yo, we spent about 2 hours in Chrissy's car that morning, and we had never driven more than 3 miles away from my apartment.
That's whack.
Yeah,
That's whack.
it was a lot. It was a whole lot. It was an
So
entire
whack.
thing. It was the when I say it was an ordeal, that's an understatement. And like I said, the worst part about it for me wasn't any of the things happening in real time. It was me having the conversation with that baby, and she knew what the fuck hazards were. That was the worst part of the whole ordeal for me. Because I'm like, how the fuck you know what hazardous mean, to the point where I'm guessing the reason she said it is because somebody in front of us that was in the parking spot had their hazards on. So after we went through what it was and she told me what it was, she was like, all right, so why do they have their hazards on? And I'm like, oh, they're trying to be slick. They have their hazards on because they're parked in a handicap spot, and they don't have a fucking handicap tag.
Yeah,
because they think that that's going to save them from being towed. When in reality,
it won't
at all.
I don't know who told y'all that. I
don't understand. I don't know why.
Told you if you mail your song back to your song,
bruh.
I guess some same people.
Probably. Nah, nigga. No.
Not at all.
So yeah. That was the part that hurt the most when she unprompted without any clues from me told me what the fuck hazards were. Told me what the fuck hazards were at the ripe old age of 13. And all these motherfuckers who presumably have their licenses
don't know,
have no idea.
These kids growing up fast these days.
No, legitimately, I thought something was like something has to be. It has to be me at this point. The sheer amount of people who were just. I know.
What did I say earlier?
I know. It's just
somehow your Boltzmann brain decided I need this because 13 million years out in space with nothing going on as a disembodied brain is boring as fuck. And you was like, I need this. I gotta have this.
I'm like, what? Why? How? Who?
When?
What? Like,
it really was life though, because we were like, we need things to be calm until after April.
Yeah.
Didn't happen.
Y'all shouldn't have said that.
That's the problem.
And y'all know April's my birth month.
Yes.
So
yes.
Nothing.
That's why I wanted everything to be fine before then, because clearly when that month comes, it's gonna be all the shit and shenanigans
right
all over the fucking place. It don't even got shit to do with you. Yo, this girl says you aren't just you. You're experiencing the entirety of the planet's experience at once, continuously. Yo, that's how that shit feel, yo. Because realistically, all jokes aside, right? We know people are stupid, right?
Yes.
So like the overall of people, we know the overall of people is stupid because that's how that works. We know that. But what are the chances that so many fucking idiots
crossed your path
in that time? Like,
you know what it might be?
Y'all.
You know what it might be? You might be you might be a no pest strip for weirdos.
Come on, y'all. And then the crazy, like, even some of the cars that didn't pull up on my bumper and stop and wait, even some of them still waited to the very last possible minute to change the lanes.
Yeah, that's insane. It's insane.
My trunk is open, fully open. What do you expect to? What? First of all, if there was a car moving with their trunk fully open, I wouldn't want to be behind it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like either way, I'm moving.
Bruh.
And it's the hood, man. Y'all heard that old Beat Nut song when to pop the trunk,
nigga. Now I will say, like, there were one or two people that tried to help. Cool, I appreciate y'all. I'm not accepting it. I'm not accepting it. Mainly because I had help on the way already. Dawn, after when I told Dawn about this, she was like, I got cables in my trunk. I said, I got cables in my trunk. She said, well, why you ain't ask nobody to help? Why you ain't ask nobody to help you? What? Strangers? I don't know these people. I don't know how territorial they are with their shit. I don't know what they know about jumping cars and what they don't know about jumping cars. I don't know nothing. Nigga, I'm not anybody that in that situation where I need that type of help. I'm not accepting help from anybody who, sorry to say this, fuck it, I have either no control of, or I don't know that they know more about the subject than I do.
Facts.
Outside of those two things, no, I'm not accepting your help.
Because again, this damn, it's funny how shit all goes full circle. Again, just you saying you know what the fuck you're doing, or I'm never wrong about these things. That is not proof that you know anything about anything. Like
ain't enough. Matter of fact, that happened too. Somebody, I didn't talk to them. They talked to Marcus, claiming to be a mechanic. It's like, oh well, you can do this, you can try this, and it was all stuff that either didn't make sense or that we've done already. Leave me the fuck alone,
Mr. Mechanic.
Right.
All these.
No reason there was no indication that he was actually a mechanic. He just said he was.
Of course not. Again, this is my issue with the bulk of humanity. They just be saying shit, and it's like they think because they said it. Oh, I guess that's no.
Yeah.
No.
Like the nigga.
I don't know you, man.
Right. The nigga that was clearly a roadside assistance guy.
Mm-hmm.
Everything he said was right. Because he does this.
To quote Jazz the rapper, he does this.
Right. Everything that my cousin said, barring car specific things, was right. Because he works on vehicles for a living. Like
yo,
outside of that, like leave me the fuck alone. Like what
it reminds me of years ago when Howard Stern was forced to let go of his head writer at the time, Jackie Martling. Years after that, Jackie was interviewed about it, and Howard did. You know how these YouTubers, they do these rolling commentary over some video. He did that shit, and he was like, "See, the problem with Jackie is he never wanted to listen to people that know."
Right.
Instead, he's getting advice from his friend Merv, or his cousin such and such, who almost made it in baseball, so he might know something about contracts. Get a fucking lawyer. What are you doing? What are you doing? Man, listen.
Nah,
expertise matters, B.
Hi, mother. You missed the show. We about to end.
Yeah, we about
Damn, fam. You missed the show too. We about to log off.
This what we know. This we do know. Your week is continuing.
Well, you know what's funny? What's funny? Actually, neither one of them know what happened. So,
oh damn! Well, they had to watch the playback.
Right.
Discourse says, "I'm no mechanic, but I've repaired carburetors, suspension, alternators, spark plugs, distributor caps, wires, exhaust parts, including mufflers. Pretty much every bulb that exists." Damn.
Word. Oh, don't apologize. Actually, my mother knows a portion of the story.
Yeah,
obviously.
apart from
Wednesday. But
yeah.
No, and here's the thing, Discord. That's a part of what my cousin says. Like my cousin says he's not a mechanic. The reason there's several reasons why he says
you're
that,
mechanically inclined, though. Obviously.
Right. The reason that he says that is because of like the issue with the mix up between what he thought my car was and what my car actually was, and hearing the guy he brought talk about the car when he got there, it's clear the difference. Like my cousin doesn't just know everything about all cars,
right?
Yeah,
and a lot of mechanics have that type of experience where they're like, "Oh no, it's this type of car." Okay, I got that. Yeah, no, my cousin don't got that, but he knows how to do the things. Right. So he was like, "Yeah, I'm not a mechanic, but I know how to work on these vehicles." I'm like, okay, that's it's been your main source of income for years. So yes, I'm pretty comfortable.
Fab for the streets.
I said I was going to add something to what you said.
Oh yeah,
I didn't really have that much to add, but my one thing, I am so happy to be with a man who can handle things, and I can be a support. And I don't have to do it.
Yeah.
Like when the car broke down, I had like flashbacks.
Oh damn.
And I was like, oh no. All right, how much money do I have? I'm gonna have to do this. And then he starts doing it. And I was like, wait, I'm here for support. I'm gonna do everything.
You just need to not break anything.
Right.
Right.
not get hurt.
And I was
You
like,
know-
hey, you don't got to do this by yourself, just so you know. But he can handle most things.
Right.
I
He's
mean,
an adult.
I'm fairly self-sufficient. I wouldn't say completely.
And the
That's
reality
fine.
is,
None of us are
ain't-
complete.
All of us ain't adults. Like
That's facts.
That's just a fact. All of us ain't adults. Like
That's
that's a fact.
facts. Like
Just saying.
I mean, fortunately, I mean, part of it might sound counterproductive, but a part of the reason that I'm as self-sufficient as I am is because I don't have to be.
Yeah.
Because I have people in my life that are able to help me with things,
Right.
and I have people in my life who I am able to help with things
Right.
when they need things. So along this right, like for instance, this whole saga, I learned a lot from this.
Yeah, from other people around you. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So like it I don't look at it as a big deal. It's just a slight bump in the road. It's just in the moment.
No, in the moment it's crazy. In the moment it's crazy. And niggas is
super
mad.
annoying.
Niggas is mad. Like,
Bro,
At the end of the day, we were like, we're not doing nothing else.
nothing.
Nothing.
I don't blame you.
That's an overgrown man, baby. Thanks. Like Fab would have Fab was this far away from being a main character in the story. Had it not been that I was on the way to work or Marcus didn't work with me or whatever the case may be,
Right.
you could have just replaced. Well, no, because Fab knows more about cars than Marcus does.
Mhm.
But yeah, it would have
You
been.
would have called Fed.
Yeah, I'd have just called Fab instead of Marcus. But
Then
it's
Fab with a picture car up on the shoulders and took it over to the
yeah,
thing.
probably.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that'd have been a
That
thing.
would've
It
been
would have been a
it.
lot less. Yeah, it would have been a lot less of those other things happening.
I'm just saying.
Fab
You'd had to
was-
replace his shirt because I'm sure some grease or something to get.
Yeah, I
Right.
got that. I can
Yeah.
pay for a shirt. But yo, and the worst part, I forgot to mention this part leading into all the crap that happened Thursday.
Mhm.
The worst part about Wednesday was, like I said, I was convinced my car was fixed. So I had to kick out that extra money for that battery. And then I get my check on Wednesdays. I don't get my check on Fridays.
Mhm.
So Wednesday is the day that I pay bills. So I'm sitting in the house, my check hit. I'm like, all right, cool. Let me pay this bill. Let me pay this bill. Let me throw some extra money on this credit card. Let me throw some extra money on this credit card. I probably spent $1,100 Wednesday. So you can imagine that when I hear that I'm about to have to kick out $700,
Yo,
nigga.
bro, I'd have been in the middle. Then you would have saw the overgrown man, baby. I'd have been in the
Bruh.
middle of the street having a tantrum, kick him up.
Yo, I had this money earlier. I had this money readily available.
And
I
you certainly
would've figured
didn't
everything else out.
intend to spend that on that.
Bruh. I would
Yeah.
have figured everything else out. Everything that I actually spent that money on, I would have figured out to be able to fix the car. Luckily, I didn't have to end up spending the $700. But bruh,
Damn it, yo.
bruh,
Damn it. Woo.
yeah.
I'm over here complaining about cats. That's
I mean,
crazy.
no, it's comparable. It's comparable. Because the only real tangible in hindsight
Mhm.
issue was me missing work, and that could happen if the cats fuck up your shit.
That's true.
You can miss work.
Yeah, but here's the thing about that though. I believe the other things are tangible too. The other micro frustrations,
Oh yeah, they add up.
that shit
They
add up, bro.
That's
Like,
facts. That's facts.
what the fuck?
That's facts.
Now this,
But
now
see,
this.
luckily though, I got to deal with it with like every character in that story is one of the closest people in the world to me. So
Yeah, true.
I got to deal with it with these people.
That's true, bro.
My
'cause
mother,
be
Chrissy,
different.
Marcus, my cousin.
It could be different. It could be different. You could not have. Like, I don't know what I would do without my support system.
Right.
I tell people this shit all the time. Tombstone the Dead Man is not one person.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what I would do without.
They call us Legion.
Because for we are many.
But we are many.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't. It could have been worse in the sense that you couldn't have had your backup.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people in this world that don't have that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
100%. And that's why I find it hard to complain about that shit, because like
I feel
it was an inconvenience
after
at the time.
the fact,
Yeah, right. At the time, it was an inconvenience. Afterwards, like, it wasn't that bad.
man. So hold up. To wrap this up, are you on salary?
No. Well,
Damn.
kind of.
Perfect.
It's stupid. The way that I am, again, some of the stories of my company don't make this clear, but my company is a very small company.
Yeah.
It's a small company. So technically I'm not salary, but I'm salary. Like I'm effectively salary. Like I don't, unless the only time I end up not really being salary is whenever I work. So I have all the benefits of being salary and none of the drawbacks of being salary.
Okay.
Like if I actually work over, I actually get paid.
Get overtime. Gotcha.
I get compensated for that.
Gotcha.
So like but if there's a time where something might have happened and I didn't fully put in 8 hours, I'm still getting
still
my
going to
money.
get the 8 hours.
Right.
I asked you that because did you miss a day's pay?
No, what I missed
still spending money.
What I missed was car allowance.
Got you.
So my actual pay, no, I didn't miss any pay, but I missed car allowance.
Got you.
Which it's not huge, but it adds up.
It adds up.
But in the grand scheme of what it could have ended up that I had to spend out, bruh. Seeing as though I didn't have to spend the amount of money that I would have had to spend. And then, when you have people in the official capacity that know more than you, fix something, any other number of problems could have popped up that might have needed to be addressed immediately. And
how they do.
Bro, right. So that $700 probably would have been more than $700.
That's true. Yo, your front windshield is what? There's no crack. So I put a leveler on it. It ain't quite
right.
Like whatever, man. Like
when I was explaining the situation to Dawn, she was like, "Yeah, somebody got me for a diagnostic, even though I told them exactly what was wrong with my vehicle."
This is the problem.
I told them exactly what was wrong with my vehicle. They looked at it, determined that I was right, and wanted to charge me for the diagnostic before they went any further.
Man.
So they got her out of like $120 or something like that.
I hate that.
I'm like, nah, bro.
What they do, bro.
A part of me has to imagine, even if it's not the case in this situation, part of me has to imagine this because she was a woman.
I mean,
because
it happens so often that now it's a cliche.
Yeah.
Yep. That's why I hate dropping my car off.
Right.
And I'm doing that on Tuesday.
She thinks that it was the same person I talked to, and the person I talked to just gave me a quote. Clear. I told him what was wrong. He gave me a quote.
Right.
Yeah.
He didn't say, well, let me check it out to make sure it's the alternator. Right.
You know how you women are.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I part of me doesn't think it was the same person, but she believes it's the same person. So that would just prove my point because he ain't give me that issue.
Facts.
So yeah. Tis what tis.
So today is a truncated show.
Yeah.
But we still want to thank all of you showing up once again for another rousing episode of the Black Culture Geeks. We want to give a special shout out to my sister.
Fam. I said that she throw the chair because I missed the signal. No, she didn't throw the chair.
Yeah. Let me give a special shout out to my sister Chrissy for being on the show.
Absolutely. Yeah, she was like, I ain't been on the show in a while. I said, you haven't. So all right, I'm gonna come on.
Get on the show.
Okay.
I have had no free time.
Yeah, no, it's been crazy.
I mean, you had a day off. So
facts.
Do not forget Chrissy's podcast, Heard It Through the Grapevine. Hilarious. They be getting nasty sometimes too.
Once a month.
Once
Once a
a
And
month,
I
they
warn everybody, and they still come on there and be like, "Oh my god, you talked about what?"
punching their
I
pearls.
warned
Thanks. All thanks.
yeah, they be getting nasty in there sometimes. But overall, it's funny, it's informative, it's perspective. So
Mhm.
go check that out.
And you be
Those of
trolling.
you, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what you're talking about. Also, those of you that have not or have joined our Patreon,
Mhm.
either way, there is a new interview up there with me and Chris Colburn talking about his title that he's releasing the Majestic Comics called Singularity.
Yeah.
Anybody, whether you're a Patreon member or not, can click on the link on my page and on my Facebook page, and you can watch it. Matter of fact, I'll put the link right here. There we go. Copy link.
Oh, there it is.
There's the link right there. It should be fine. So go check it out. And if it so suits you, go join the Patreon. Help Majestic Comics continue to keep the lights on and write these stories. Also, there's music. There is always music.
Always music.
Always music. Either the older stuff or the newer stuff coming up. So be sure to go and give us some streams, man. We need some streams.
Absolutely.
You know yes, that's all. But anyway, exactly. But anyway, for my man SPJ,
you
and my sister Chrissy,
hey,
I am Tombstone the Dead Man, and for the greater multi-world entertainment family, we are out.
Peace.